Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is the Analog Duo by Analog. So the Analog Duo is a PC Engine plus PC Engine CD-ROM in one convenient plastic shell. It's FPGA, which means they've programmed some chips to replicate the chips that are in a PC Engine. So it plays games like it was a PC Engine. It doesn't know what it is. It's like some sort of Frankenstein's monster. Oh, I think I'm a real PC Engine, but I'm not. I'm some sort of FGPA monster. And that was the PC Engine talking there. That's my impression. Here we have a list of games I've played on the PC Engine Analog Duo. And here's some screenshots I've taken from the games. To take screenshots, you have to use all the fingers on both hands to press all the buttons simultaneously. You don't have to do that. I can't remember what you do. It's something like pressing down and selecting start. It's not that difficult, really. I'm overstating for comedic effect. We laughed. We didn't laugh, did we? The display mode is where you're going to get most of your action on the Analog Duo because there's very few options elsewhere. So here we have the TurboGrafx 16 mode and a Trinitron mode, which is supposed to be like a TV. And then there's the PC Engine handheld filter and LT filter. And they are both abysmal. They are ugly, I suppose they're shaders really. Like emulation style shaders. Although it's not emulation, is it? That's a dirty word to use when talking about this stuff. It's FPGA, goddammit. We've got some other things you can do in here, like change the colour output to composite, which means you get muddier colours. And when you pick Trinitron mode, you can fiddle about with the scan lines. Here you've got integer scales, and because it's a 1080 output, it's not quite 5 times. Although I've not noticed any pixel crawl, I'm sure there is some. Whereas if I went to 5 times scale, it would be slightly bigger than the monitor would allow, but probably pixel perfect. So here's Salamander. I'm looking lovely now with scan lines. It's immediately going to turn it off. I'm not someone who likes a scan line on a game unless it's an N64 game for some reason. The video options, like I said, is where the action is. The audio options are very limited. You can set cue card audio in there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Something to do with maybe one of those what are they called? EverDrives? Maybe something to do with EverDrives. There's the composite and RGB look. It kind of makes everything dull in composite mode. Kind of like the vibrant RPG colours. It depends on your monitor, what kind of monitor you're looking at, and how saturated the monitor is. I can't say monitor properly. Monitor is. It's terrible being drunk all the time. Yeah, you got auto detect on the Super Graphics and CD-ROM. We've got pass-through mode there. That's because the PC Engine joypads don't work with the system properly at the moment. So there's something there that they've done to fix it, which is bloody odd considering this is supposed to be a PC Engine, really. So there we go. And got some library options. So when you start the console up, you should have an SD card handy, format to FAT32, and then you can do things like save screenshots and save your library. Otherwise, and update your firmware actually, because you need to do an update to firmware straight away. So you'll need to do that. It doesn't come supplied with a SD card. You get a lovely cardboard box with some foam in it, and the console's right in the middle of that, and you lift up the console, and underneath there you get 2 cables. You get a power cable, which is a C type cable, both ends, I guess because it needs the extra power. Oh look, here's some screenshots, lovely. And you get an HDMI lead, and you get a power brick type, like a shaver type thing. I suppose it's an American power brick, which is all well and good. What have we got here? I'm going to play the CD. Oh, we're going to play a CD from the CD-ROM drive. So you get very little in the box. You don't get a joypad, and you can plug any old USB joypad into the back of it there, and it seems to recognise them. So that's fine. And the The quality of the actual system itself feels nice in the hand. If you hug it, it's got very rounded edges, so you're not going to cut your face when you smoosh your face against it. Why did I say that? That's weird. But one thing I would say about the slots, so it's got 2 slots on the front, one for your CDs, one for your HuCard. The HuCard one, you have to push it in much further than you normally would on a normal PC Engine. It's almost like you feel like you're going to push it through the back of the console. It goes in so far, but it's a tight fit. Whew. It grips that HuCard like it's holding onto a freaking ledge on a 20-story building. It doesn't want to let that go, and it feels like it's going to mangle it. It hasn't mangled a HuCard yet, but by golly, is that a tight fit? Yes, it is. It's like I answered my own question there. I asked the question, I answered the question. I do all this for you. The CD-ROM drive is not a top loader. It's one of those ones where you push the CDs in the front. And I don't know if you know this, but PC Engine CD games, like Dracula X, are very expensive. And pushing a CD through a small aperture, the CDs being eminently scratchable, doesn't seem like a sensible design choice to me. I much would have preferred it if they'd had a flip-top CD-ROM drive, but that's me. I don't feel comfortable putting CDs into it. That's why I've burnt all my CDs to just CDRs. So it plays CDRs fine. So if you want to save your discs from dust and scratches whilst using the system, burn them to CDRs, which kind of sort of defeats half the point of buying a FPGA CD-ROM system to use your real games, doesn't it? Oh, they've gone and made a boo-boo. They've done a wrong-un. They haven't thought that through properly. Yeah, I'm not sticking a 250 quid game in there. Through I suppose it's about half a sort of 5. I suppose it's like, yeah, about 5mm. It's got 2 little rubberized doors on it, but you have to slide the CD in fucking miles before the console grips on it. And when it ejects the CD, sometimes it doesn't come all the way out, so you can't like stick your finger through the hole and get the CD out that way. You have to put your mucky jam sandwich covered fingers all over the CD to get it out, which is again not the best. So it's got some design flaws. Just to summarise, joypads don't work correctly. If you've got a PC Engine joypad, they seem slightly screwed. The HuCard slot is very tight. It feels like it's going to wreck your HuCards. And the CD drive door is very slim, and it feels like it's going to scratch your CDs. So a couple of odd design choices there. I don't have any super graphics games to test on the console, but I'm sure that they work. There's no jailbreak for the console yet, so I can't just run ROMs off an SD card, which would be the next thing to do with the HuCards, because the HuCard slot wears. It is so much tighter than a normal PC Engine. It's not even funny. It does feel like it's going to break them. Yeah, so I don't necessarily have confidence in the device treating my games particularly well, but everything I've played on it so far has worked. I dislike this game intensely, but here we are playing it. Yeah, so the console itself costs about £200, $240. They charge you another $40 for postage, analog side, so that's no fun. No, is it $40 or $80? They charge you some ridiculous amount. I think it actually might be $80 postage, which equates to about 60 quid. And then that's for them to put a box inside another cardboard box by the looks of it and give it to the courier. And then the courier will get it over to you, and then you'll get charged import tax on it in this country, which will be about 60 quid, plus a handling charge. So by the time you get your console, it will cost you £300. 300 English Now a Turbo Duo is more expensive than that, and a Turbo Duo does not output 1080p, granted. And you need all sorts of arcade cards, etc. on a PC Engine CD-ROM to get all the games to work, so I mean, it takes your pick really. I haven't noticed any problems with these games in terms of authenticity. It's just it's maybe the cheapest way to play actual PC Engine CD-ROM games, other than if you could steal a PC off somebody and emulate them. But it's still expensive, isn't it? Like 300 quid. I like it. I like it enough. I do like the fact that I can use my original pad, and it will work after you faff about with it for a little bit in the options menu there. But I do have a PC Engine mini pad, which is a USB, and that works nicely. Apparently it works with a lot of 8-bit do stuff and a load of other things like PS4 controllers and Xbox controllers, so you can only use what you like, really. So that's groovy. But what's the point of having a PC Engine console and using an Xbox pad? I don't know, I might as well emulate it then, mightn't I? I don't know. It's a bit of a weird proposition. If they'd have given you pads in the box, then I could say that's probably a bit more logical, but they don't. And it's expensive, so I don't know. I'm feeling a bit down on this one in comparison to, say, the Super NT. It just depends how many PC Engine CD-ROM games you've got and how many cue cards you have, as to whether it's worth it for you. But it's cool, don't get me wrong, it's a nice build, it's expensive, you got some options there, although not as many options as I'd like. I'd like to have had a sprite limit option to turn off the sprite flicker in games, but didn't get one. The Super NT had one of those, and that was nice. So we'll wait for the jailbreak and see how that goes. But yes, there's another nice bit of gear from Analogue, but expensive. I won't be buying the N64 Analogue console, that's for sure. Alright then, that's ANALOGUE DUO. I hope that's been of help to you. Ta-ra!